Welcome back, everyone, to the Bears Follow Please YouTube channel. Today is Saturday, October 5th, and the wild card games are over. We're on to the next round, and we've got some really good matchups in the NL. Not so much in the AL, but I'm still going to try to break them down. The New York Yankees have found a way to the World Series. All they have to do is get past the Central Division in the AL. Yankees versus Royals will be the first game we're going to be breaking down. The other player we're going to be looking at, maybe the best series of the entire week, Padres going up against the Dodgers. I'm also very excited about the Mets-Phillies series. We're going to get to that in a couple days, but I've got my two best player props as well in this video. Hope everybody enjoys their Saturday, and let's break down some ball. All right, guys, here's a recap from Wednesday. Didn't break down the game on Thursday, right? Thursday, Mets, Pete Alonso, Oppo Taco hit a home run. Send the Mets in the next round. Didn't break it down because I thought the Brewers were going to win that game, and it was already too late. So didn't break down that game. This is the recap from Wednesday. Astros with the Tigers. Brewers take the game against the Mets, the second game against the Mets by 2 runs. Michael Harris, I think he had 4 total bases. Then Shamanea did go over 1.5 runs going in against Brewers, giving up 2 home runs to Jackson Trio, maybe? No. I think he gave up the solo shot and then gave up a run in like the 3rd or 4th inning. But yeah, not too bad. 3-1. 2-1 on the player props, 1-1 on the game picks. But let's take a look at the plays for tomorrow. For the first play, we're going to be looking at the Royals going up against the New York Yankees. This is your classic David versus Goliath, as the Yankees are one of the biggest organizations in baseball. They're one of the most historic organizations in baseball. The Royals have been a small market team. They continue to put up a fight year in, year out. Some years, not as good as others, obviously, but they're back in the playoffs. They had no problem going up against the Orioles, giving up just 1 run to one of the best teams in the MLB this season at hitting the ball. They swept the O's. I'm going to take them to win this game, the first game. Give me them plus 170 on money line as the play. The Royals starting pitching and the Royals bullpen has been incredible in the first 2 games of the postseason. The starting pitching has been good all season long, but that bullpen came out of nowhere, able to shut down the O's. The Royals will be going with one of their most reliable arms in Michael Waka Waka, who's coming into the postseason with a 3.35 ERA and a 1.19 whip. He's had a below 3.35 ERA in 3 consecutive years with 3 different teams. How has nobody signed him to a long-term deal? I'm going to trust his arm over Garrett Cole, who has been beaten up over the last couple games, over the last couple seasons with some injuries as well. Cole's coming into this game with a 3.41 ERA. He was pretty good over the last 2 games of the season, but he has had some big mistakes in that short time that he's been in the major leagues this year. He's only pitched 95 innings, 17 total games, giving up 36 runs. He's definitely not like the Garrett Cole we've seen in the past with the Astros especially. He was so good then. But even with the Yankees over the last couple years, I guess you can call him the best arm in this rotation. I'm not saying it's going to be easy for the Royals to get past him, but this feels like a game that the Royals are going to be able to win. Over the last 10 years, the Yankees, they've played in 45 playoff games. They've only won 21 of those 45 games. They're one of the best teams in the regular season, but when it comes to the playoffs, just like the Dodgers, they kind of choke away their good year. The Royals, on the other hand, they've been in 30 games in the postseason over the last 10 years, which seems like a lot, but it's not, because whenever they get in, they win games. 21-9 record in the postseason for the Royals over the last 10 years. This is one of the hardest teams to bounce out of the playoffs. I think they go into this game, they take game 1, give me them plus 170 on the money line as the play. For the next play, I already kind of mentioned it, Padres going up against the Dodgers. This has potential to be one of the best series we see this season in the playoffs. The Dodgers have been known to drop out early in the playoffs, just like the Yankees. I'm taking both road dogs. Give me the Padres here, plus 130 as the play. They had no problem taking down the Atlanta Braves in the sweep in the wild card round. The story for the Dodgers for the last 10 years or so has been that they're just rusty. I don't know why they call themselves rusty. Teams have the ability to practice. They have the ability to scrimmage. They have live game throwing they can go through. So this is not a problem. I know people are like, oh, well, the wild card takes away from the Dodgers and the Yankees from playing for a couple of days. Well, guess what? You can still scrimmage. You can still practice. You still have live BP. That's not an excuse. Just say you're not ready for the playoffs. It's fine. Like, we get it. Some teams don't have it. Some teams do have it. The Dodgers don't have it. I do love the pitching matchup here for Dylan Cease. On the mound for the Padres, who's been incredible this season. He's coming in with a 3.47 ERA, 1.07 whip. And whenever this guy's on the mound doing his thing, he's got a lot of swing and miss action. For the Dodgers, they're going to throw out, try, Yoshinobu Yamamoto. I'm hoping I say that correctly, but he's been dealing with some injuries this season. I'm not entirely sure why he's the number 1 guy. I guess you can call him the best arm in the rotation, but he's been up and down this season, coming in with a flat 3 ERA, 1.11 whip. He did have 4 starts in September, but he didn't pitch at all in the back half of June, July, and August. So 2.5 months, no pitching, 4 games in September. He's also coming off back-to-back games against the Rockies, getting beaten up just a little bit. 8 innings, 6 runs, 9 hits coming into the postseason. I'm a little bit concerned about his arm. I'm really concerned about the Dodgers' pass in the last several years. Give me the Padres. They're playing good baseball. Padres plus 130 as the play there. Let's take a look at the best player props for the entire slate of games. Tigers going up against the Guardians. Tigers, team of destiny. I'm so happy that they're still in this. They're getting a matchup going up against division rival, the Guardians. They swept the Astros. Good riddance, Astros. Nobody likes you anyway. If there are Astros fans, I'm sorry, get a new team. We're taking Riley Green here, over 1.5 base against Tanner Bibee. Tanner Bibee this season has been giving up a lot of hits, and he's really good at trying to keep the runs to a minimum. He's given up under 3 runs in 8 of the last 10 games that he's been in, and the hits, though, they've been elevated. He went 173 innings this season for the Guardians. He is the second-year man for the Guardians as well, so they definitely found themselves a really good pitcher, but he did give up 150 hits, which isn't horrible, but it is on the high side of hits given up. He has given up 5+ hits in 8 of the last 10 games that he's been in the regular season, and I'm going to take advantage of that in this game against the Red Hot Tigers. The Astros did a pretty good job going up against Riley Green in that last series because they threw a lot of left-handed pitching at him, but Tanner Bibee is a right-handed pitcher, and that's what we need for Riley Green to dominate. He's coming into this game with a 280 batting average going up against right-handed pitching compared to just 210 going up against lefties. He also has 40 extra base hits going up against the right side, 18 home runs, 18 doubles, 4 triples. I think he's going to show some power in this game, especially going up against that fastball. His batting average is nearly 300 going up against the fastball this season. That's the number 1 pitch in Tanner's arsenal this year. And if we happen to see the changeup as well, that's a nearly 250 batting average going up against that pitch. He's also got a high slug going up against that changeup. I like the matchup here. Left on right, he crushes righties. Give me the over. 1.5 bases as the play there. And for the best pitching prop tonight, we're looking at the Phillies going up against the Mets. Zach Wheeler, under 2.5 runs. Zach Wheeler has been incredible regular season coming into this game with a 2.57 ERA, 0.97 whip, 96 whip, one of the top pitchers in the NL this season. If it wasn't for Chris Sale, I think he would have won the Cy Young, but I guess he still has potential to win it. I don't know if they dropped that or not, but, you know, Chris Sale is just so good in the regular season. It's probably going to be a close vote towards the end, but look at the numbers for Zach Wheeler. He's been able to go 6+ innings in 10 consecutive games, not giving up more than 2 runs in any of those games. We might even have to take him under 1.5 runs in this game, and I'm going to be okay with that. He's been shutting down the opposing teams, and his strikeouts over the last 10 games have been up as well. He struck out 6+ batters in 10 consecutive games, and he's also struck out 7+ batters in 8 of those 10 games. He has faced off against the Mets a couple times this year. The last time he went up against them a couple weeks ago, 7 innings, giving up 2 runs off a home run, striking out 8. With the way I've seen pitching so far this postseason, I'm not entirely sure if we're going to see him go very deep. 5-6 innings has usually been the max for the starting pitching. I think the most likely scenario is if he's wheeling and dealing. He goes 5 or 6 innings. The Phillies play some matchups with the bullpen. This Mets team's still finding a way to win games, but if you take a look at their postseason games, they've been shut out pretty early in these, and then somehow, some way, they find a way to score 3 or 4 runs in the 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th inning. I like Zach Wheeler to shut them down early in this game. I'm going to take his under 2.5 runs, play it to under 1.5 runs if you have to as the play there. Let's take a look at the recap graphic. We're going to go with the Royals and Padres, both road dogs on the money line, plus 170 and plus 130. Riley Green over 1.5 bases. And then Zach Wheeler under 2.5 runs, play to under 1.5 runs if you have to there. Guys, it's going to do it for the MLB picks and props for Saturday, October 5th slate of games. If you guys enjoyed the content, please be sure to drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel below. See you guys next video, and thanks for watching.